When you're out there moving around everywhere, consider if everybody would be able to join you.
Actively inclusively. Mobility for everybody.
To overcome the obstacles. To push back the walls. To break down the barriers. To surpass what handicaps.
This is what it's like not being able to see.
Handicap. A circumstance that makes progress or success difficult. Act as an impediment too.
When you've removed the barrier that impedes someone, you've given that person ability. I can honestly say, looking at that symbol, that all the other symbols in there, I'm sure there's one or two I do not know. There's certainly a lot there that I do know, and even some that I had to face myself. This is one of the 2 legs that took me 26,000 kilometers across Canada. Trauma can strike in a split second, and it can be a life-altering experience. An open wound down to the bone. I didn't even want to look at it. The doctors, they kind of forced me to. They needed me to accept I just might lose my leg. I don't know anybody near me that is one. I don't know how to navigate this. Then I thought to myself, well, you know an amputee. You know Terry. And Terry did okay. Right now, there's a person wheelchairing around the world in a wheelchair. You know how he's doing. You know he's doing okay. And it could have been worse. You could have lost the use of both your arms and your legs. And it could have been worse than that. And I thought to myself, look, if it was but not for a split second here or there, I could have had a whole different array of issues that I'd be facing.
Where are you heading?
To the TV room.
Where are your crutches?
On my bed.
Get up off your ass and stop feeling sorry for yourself. I didn't put your leg back together for you to be rolling
I'll
around.
get them.
Get your ass in there and get on them.
My leg feels funny when I stand and my foot turns purple.
It's going to do that. You need to get your circulation back. You need to grow back your blood vessels to carry the blood away. That is why you feel that way. That's why your foot is turning purple. I heard from the nurses you want to be out of here by Halloween?
Yeah.
Well, it's not going to happen. In fact, take his wheelchair away. He isn't permitted to use it.
I stayed on my crutches, and Dr. McDermott allowed me to leave by Halloween. 2 months later, I heard that Dr. McDermott passed away. I often wish he could have seen how far his work went and how far I've went on the work he did on my leg. I may have been one of Dr. Patrick McDermott's last patients. It hung heavy on a teenage boy. I worked really, really hard on my recovery and trying to get my leg moving again. I even started running in a walking cast. A year and a half later, the open wound healed. I said as a teenager, if I become an adult, I'm going to make a difference in the lives of others. I thought of Terry, and I thought of Rick, a lot in my recovery.
How long did it take for you to recover?
In all seriousness, I'm still recovering. When you've had an injury like I've had, you face years and years and years of recovery. If you don't move the injured leg, it will not move for you. Again, we heal as we move. And that's from any trauma we face, physical and emotional. We can move away from it. We can move through it. Remember this, because you limp does not mean you are broken. In fact, it displays you are not. And I do limp sometimes often. But often I find the best limping I do is when I limp with both feet. Then I know I've gone as far as I could go. In 2011, I celebrated with thousands of difference makers, along with a fellow that wheelchaired around the world 25 years earlier. As my nephew reflected on the moments he captured with photos, I was reflecting on the journey that we traveled. My nephew happened to just glance back upon his reflections, and he seen a man wheeling up in a wheelchair, struggling to throw a battery into his camera. He was able to capture yet another moment. Rick said to me, "You've come pretty far yourself." I said to Rick, "Not as far as you. In order for me to go as far as you, I'd have to run across Canada and back." He said to me, "You can do it." And I'm doing it. I will run across Canada with your support. And I've been spending years in trying to gather support after that conversation. After that conversation as well, with that yellow jacket that we wore, I thought to myself, if I'm going to run across Canada, maybe I should dress in yellow. And then I laughed. If I do that, maybe I should call myself the fellow in yellow.